What's up, motherfuckers? You wanna know about this piece of shit? Well, you're gonna. Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to be talking about my brother's car. Now, when I posted that last video, I actually had a comment in the comment section and I've gotten some DMs on Instagram. People want to know about this car. So, this is my brother's 1989 Camaro RS, and he's done a lot of work to this over the last 2.5 years that he's had it. So, I'm going to turn the camera to him and we're going to kind of talk about the car, and he's going to go through a lot of the things that he's done and a lot of the things that he's going to be doing. What's going on, guys? My name is Matt. I'll also be on the channel doing the shitbox thing because shitbox is life. I did really hurt my hand on that intro, so I will need you guys to like that for my pain and suffering. I would greatly appreciate it. Starting with the engine. It's a small block Chevy built by ATK. I bought the short block from Jegs. It's basically just a refreshing block. It's got new rods, it's got new crank, bearings, all that. It's got a flat top 4-valve relief piston, and it's bored 40 over. I got a set of aluminum AFR heads, 190 cc's, some very fancy AFR valve covers, so that the engine looks pretty. I got a plain, or dual plane Edelbrock intake with a 750 Brawler quick fuel carburetor. It's got a set of Doug headers on it, about they're 1 5/8" headers. We got CVF front accessory pulleys. They're local in Minnesota, so you got to shout out to them, and you got to support your Minnesota people. Engine made 430 horsepower, 430 foot-pounds of torque on the engine dyno. It's not impressive in today's standards. I'm well aware of that. I'm not impressed with it at all, but it is just a temporary setup for now until I go on to bigger and cooler things, which you will see later on in some upcoming videos. The transmission is a Turbo 400 built by FTI. It is a stage 3 with a 3200 stall converter. Rear end currently that's in it is a stock 7.5. It had the 273 rear gear with a $40 mini spool. That lasted 4 passes, and it did not survive. Never trust a 7.5. So I did have a set of Corbeau seats to kind of make the interior really look nice, but I sat so tall in it, it looked like I was 7'2", and I'm really only 5'8". So I really had to get rid of that. So I put these Kirky seats in. Well, just the one. We will get a passenger seat one as well. I put some Scott Rod fabrication door panels on it. Gives it a cleaner, and it's a little bit lighter. So it looks nicer than just the stock door cards that come on these cars. So for a shifter, I got a B&M pistol shifter. That's it's a reverse manual valve body transmission, so I got the reverse gate for the transmission. I got a climate and radio control block off plate from Scott Rod Fabrication as well. And then for my gauge cluster, it's actually a scrap piece of sheet metal that we had laying around. And so I traced it out and drilled out for the gauges, and then sticker bombed it instead of painting it because I was lazy, and Jeg sent me about 400 stickers. They're all digital except for the fuel. Also, just because I wanted to be that guy, I also installed what I call ricer lights. Those were about 30 cents from Amazon, so if you ever wanted to know how these street outlaw guys do it, that's how. It's a very basic rear suspension setup.
I run stock springs from factory of 1989. I run UMI's lower control arms. They're non-adjustable. It still has a stock pan-hand bar or track bar, whatever you want to call that bar. I call it a track bar. It's still stock. It will get replaced. I got some premium Rock Auto drag shocks, and I run a Hotchkiss sway bar. I don't really need the sway bar. I just had it, so I ran it. Torque arm, since it's a Turbo 400, I do have a UMI cross member for a Turbo 400. When you run that, you have to run a different torque arm. So I also have an adjustable UMI torque arm that will actually, it bolts right up to your stock rear end, but it'll also bolt right up to what I have here. So since I blew the 7.5 up, I spent some money on what I really should have replaced a long time ago, and I got a 4.9-inch bit built by Quick Performance. So I went a little extra mile on it because, well, the car is predominantly a race car. I had them install a back bracing into it for a little bit more support. I got some adjustable lower control arm mounts, so you can adjust where you want your lower control arms for your suspension tuning. It's still got your stock spring perches, and then your coilover or your stock shock mount on the back. It's also got your mounts for your torque arm bar or your piece. These ends go right to your rear end. This goes right to your torque arm. So they made it as easy as possible to do this. I'm honestly really excited to put this in. So for a couple upcoming videos, I'm going to be doing the build on the rear end. When I get the third member ordered, we'll go through that. And then I'll also be assembling the rear end. I got the axles for it now. These are Mosier 31 spline axles. So they got the big bearing on it. They're very well made. I'm actually extremely happy with Mosier's. I was going to go Strange, but the kit with Quick Performance, they will just send you Mosier axles. So I got 3-inch studs. They're only 1/2 inch. I didn't go stupid crazy and get 5/8 studs or nothing like that. So I got the front brakes right now, and I figured I'd just show you guys just because it looks cool. So these cars with their brakes, the rotor and hub is all one piece. And that's kind of a downfall on these cars. If you got to do a brake job and your rotor's got a bunch of grooves and you need to get a new one, now you got to repack bearings and everything. So for the Strange brake kit, they turn your entire front assembly into basically a hub car. So I only have to pack the bearings once, and this becomes a whole hub separate from your disc brakes, which is really nice. This weighs damn near nothing. So this is going to shave so much weight off the front of the car, really lighten it up. For the calipers, I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen Strange calipers before. They also weigh almost absolutely nothing. They're the 4-piston calipers, really nice cover. It's got the nice, cool Strange logo, so you can flex if you wanted to flex. It's got a -3 fitting on the back, so you can run your AN brake lines to it, clean up the front as much as you can. Pretty excited to put these on. It's, you know, it's kind of gonna suck to bleed 4 valves for every brake, but it's the price you gotta pay when you want to go fast. And then the last thing is the rotor. This is probably the heaviest piece by like a pound. Nothing more. It's very thin. So these are rated to go for about the stopping power for the rotors, pads, and calipers. Well, not really the calipers, but the rotors and pads is like 180 miles an hour. So in the quarter mile. So I should be okay for a little while. Granted, I don't mess anything up. So this kit, once I get the rear brakes and everything for the rear end, we will have a video series on the assembly of the brakes and the rear end, so that you guys can see how that's done and you can see the progression of the car. I ran a Gens 15 by 10 SSR spike wheel. These are 275 50 R15 tires. They're Mickey Thompson ET Streets. The specs on the wheel, it's a 4.5-inch backspace with a negative 25 offset actually. Kind of gives it a little bit of an aggressive look, and so that's kind of what I was going for, especially when, you know, this is like, I want to be race car guy, but you're too broke to afford welds. So this is what you get. If anyone's wondering, with this exact setup, I didn't even come close to rubbing. On launch, hitting bumps, nothing. It all cleared with the stock 7.5, stock springs, and the shocks that I had. Clearance was absolutely perfect, and I didn't even have a single problem in the world with spinning the tires, except on the street. That's pretty much everything that I have done to the car. You know, there's little things here and there that you guys aren't gonna care about. I do have a lot of pretty badass things going on in the future. I'm hoping to have that done. I'm hoping to get started on those big upgrades in a few months or so, maybe a year. It is going to be a little bit expensive, so you guys just have to be a little bit patient. But this car, I do want to get in the 8 seconds, and I want to take this car to some out-of-state shows, go to like Cletuson Cars, go to LS Fest, or go to Rocky Mountain Race Week. LS Fest is something that I've always wanted to go to, and I want to go to it, but with my car. Whether I'm competitive or not, I don't care. So with that being said, this is going to be the future heart of the car. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get started on this, but when I do, there will be videos on it. We will be getting some stuff ready to go on this, doing some assemblies, and hopefully by the time snow starts to melt, well, if we get snow, hopefully by that time we can put it out on the street, see how the car does. If anyone was curious what it did at the drag strip, as it sat, it ran a 1261 on a 273 rear view. It's not cool or fast by any means. I know that. It didn't impress me. Didn't impress me that the 7.5 held together as long as it did, though. But if you guys want to see anything else, or you're curious about anything, leave a comment down below. Like this video. My hand still hurts. I did hit the car pretty hard, so I do want to go make sure that I didn't break anything. And let me know if you guys want to see or know anything else.
All right, guys, that's going to kind of wrap it up for today's video. Like I said, some of y'all wanted to see this thing. I don't know why. I'm just kidding. But comment down below, what do you think of the car? The next video that should be coming up should be of my Camaro coming back into the garage, and we're actually going to get started pulling the motor on that now that I finally have an engine stand to put that motor on. And then we'll do a teardown of that and kind of see what's going on. So if you like the video, please go ahead and like it. If you want to see future content, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and stay hydrated.